a very tasteful way, but also it created this environment of respect. But hell, maybe it is this side of the internet and it has something to do with age, where people decide to get parasocial when certain aspects of a creator's lives are brought.
It's because of the generation that we're in, especially my generation, bro. Everybody in their mind thinks everybody is promiscuous. That's why everybody in our relationship doesn't trust women. Women don't trust guys, so they're projecting all of their problems onto somebody's relationship. That's why we have a bunch of incels and a bunch of weirdos that always comment and try and tear other people's relationships down. And you watching, I ain't gonna say you one of them, but you probably know one of them, if I'm being completely frank with you. I say, what's good, YouTube? I say, what's good, YouTube? I say, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy 3 Stacks. Say, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy 3 Stacks. What's good, YouTube? It's time to react. And today we have a video titled "Streaming Has Relationship Problem." And bro, if you know, you know, bro. Jason the Wing can't keep a girl. Playboy Max can't keep a girl. Reggie can't keep a girl. Casa Nat can't keep a girl. And we're gonna see why. I'm saying my boy Omizi finna tell us a little bit about it. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Going through a breakup.
Are you crying?
Oh, Jason.
And obviously, anyone going through a breakup would not be in the right headspace to stream or do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Are you crying?
No one cheated. All right, none of that happened. But yeah, me and Sakura are no longer together. I have nothing but respect for Sakura.
Is Cupid dead or something? How are we starting off February with so many creator breakups? Damn. I feel like this is a throwback video to something that I just recently posted, but every single time a streamer couple breaks up, the internet does the same exact thing. Fake clips, choosing sides, painting narratives, and not because the breakup was messy, but because the relationship was the content. And this week it happened, not once, but twice. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, please. It goes a long, long way for the audience. It goes a long, long way for the community. Maybe it goes a long, long way for love, because this is crazy. Now, back into the video. Between the end of 2025 and now in 2026, we've seen major creators break up. Last hope that we had in this unemployed life was Jason the Ween and his girlfriend Sakura. And I'm here to tell you that that is no longer the case. Jason the Ween put out a statement yesterday saying, "Sakura and I are no longer in a relationship. We have nothing but respect for each other and plan to continue supporting one another moving forward. We both feel incredibly grateful for the time we shared together. We kindly ask for privacy on this matter moving forward." Another time,
I ain't gonna lie, and that's a sad thing. Like, when you bring your relationship to the public, like, you have to bring the breakup to the public too. Like, for example, like, if I were to have a girl and I would have her all the time with me, and then all of a sudden she just stopped showing up, like, the questions would start, "Where's da-da-da-da? Where's da-da-da-da? Where's da-da-da-da?" And I have to answer it. I might not gotta tell y'all exactly what happened, but I gotta answer it. That's why, like, you should always keep your life private, bro. Like, you should keep your love life, your family life, all that stuff private, because once it becomes public, it becomes public.
Well, there is a neutral tweet, mutual respect, request for privacy, and immediately the narrative show up. Now, I know what you're already thinking. Omar, I watched this video yesterday, and it's probably because of two things. One, you're a little racist. I know they're Asian today and they were Asian yesterday, but that's crazy. But two, this pattern seems to keep happening. So I took some time before I recorded this video to really take a step back and try to see the different POV from other people so that I can try to come to a different perspective and understanding. Spoiler alert, I kind of didn't, but just follow along with me. The fact of the matter is, if you have streamed, posted, monetized your relationship in some way, shape, form, or fashion, then you do owe the audience something. And this is where my stance is a little different than yesterday. There is an emotional connection that is built up over time. Now, maybe it's because I've met a hero or two and been disappointed in real life, but I can't deny the fact that people do build some sorts of connections with their favorite content creator, with their favorite celebrity, with their favorite athlete. They lean into the relatability, they lean into, you know, the idolization, they lean into a couple of different things to make a deeper connection than just what is being displayed on the screen with the person that they're enjoying. With that being said though, if I display something to you to, I just can't yank it back later on at a whim. Imagine this, if I get everybody invested in my puppy, I want you guys to be a part of the naming process. I want you guys to pick what type of haircut I give the puppy. I want you guys to pick out the bedding. I even want you guys to pick out where the puppy sleeps in my house. I document this puppy for 3 years and people become connected to this puppy and myself throughout the trials, the tribulations, the ups and downs, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden the puppy went ghost. Yeah, people will be asking about what happened. And I can actually understand that concept. But the strange thing about this relationship content is that it just doesn't stop at asking questions. What happens next is there's these narratives about these relationships that gets painted, and they're oftentimes picking a side and attacking one person. And it's actually disgusting.
You know, these clip pages, they take this narrative and they spin it and they get their impressions, and, you know, they thrive off hate. And the craziest thing is, you know, they don't even get paid. They just do it for the impressions, and if they do, they get paid pennies. But no one got cheated on. I went live today going through a breakup.
It's interesting to me that people get their sick kicks off of blatantly lying on the internet. No real rewards. I'm talking about X paying literally pennies on the impression, not even whole pennies, fractions of pennies. Just the satisfaction of knowing that they openly and blatantly lied on somebody. And it's strange because no matter how much clarification and clearing up one can do in these situations, it makes no difference. People are still gonna run with different narratives. People are still gonna be blatant and open about this lie that they're trying to perpetuate in the mainstream media. And all of it comes to this shared conclusion by a bunch of other content creators. One that says, keep your relationship in the tuck.
Thousands and thousands of people to have their own opinion and create these narratives on one single relationship, you know, that.
Why, yo, this shit will forever bust my head. Why do niggas publicize shit on the internet and get mad when niggas have opinions? Why? Like, what the fuck?
Bro, he's a grown man.
Am I stupid? Why? Like, what's wrong with you niggas?
That's
saying it's not known for thousands of niggas to formulate an opinion. Nigga, you have 20,000 people watching. I think that is normal. It's not normal for niggas to have no opinion when you publicize this to the world.
Streamer Crack Baby, yeah.
You know,
That is his name, who is Silky's brother, brings up some very interesting points on the concept. I do sit in the middle on the fact that, you know, if you do bring your relationship to the internet, of course people are going to have their opinions. People are going to say something, think something about anything and everything that goes on.
But before he continues, the problem isn't the opinion, because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It's the spreading of false information without regard for the people who were actually in this situation. And that's where it starts to become weird, because you're a grown up and you're invested in somebody's relationship. They're telling you what it's not, and you're still formulating your opinion and bullying the other person because, oh, I need to get my get back. Like, bro, that's the issue. Like, the issue isn't the opinion, it's about the aftermath of the opinion.
People are commenting right now about this shoulder being lower than this shoulder. People hate my haircut. People don't like the fact that this chair is great. People don't like the new background. People love the new background. People are going to have their opinions. That is just the nature of what's going on in the internet. What happens is that people become more favorable in the eyes of the general public, really their audience. And so they're not used to comments and criticism going against them. They're usually used to a glaze fest. So any sort of small pushback that comes in their life is always met with this concept that they can't understand. But I do agree with Jason in the fact that, that doesn't mean that y'all just have the bandwidth in the room to say whatever the hell that you want to say. That's where it gets just totally out of pocket. And it's more on you as a person, which is what Crack Baby also goes on to say.
If I bring a girl I'm fucking with to the web, nigga, if me and her break up, y'all liable to say she was sucking dick. Who cares? The clip page is liable to make whatever they want to make, because at the end of the day, as a grown-ass adult, I made a conscious decision to bring some shit to the public. There's a reason why I don't ever bring a girl I fuck with on the internet. Because I let a girl know that I fuck with on the internet what kind of environment this is. Like, you got pieces of shits like me in the chat. What do niggas want niggas in the chat to say? Oh my God, I love this relationship. I hope it does well. I hope you guys get married. Fuck no, them niggas is bored. They want to get niggas mad. They gonna say, fuck you in that dirty bitch. That's what they gonna say. Yo, niggas need to just buckle up. Like, get out the emotions.
Why have we come to the conclusion that the internet is just free reign? And I'll also say this is about the audience that you cultivate more than anything. There are sides on the internet in which people live their normal day-to-day lives, and for the most part, people don't get weird about it. There is boundaries that are put into place. There is respect from the audience. And contrary to popular belief, you can have a normal relationship while existing on the internet. Crack Baby said when you have people like me on the internet, which I think perfectly encapsulates it. It's about the individual user, not the internet inherently. I don't want to just chalk it up to a maturity level thing. I don't want to just chalk it up to, you know, these people are young. I really don't want to pinpoint exactly why this side of the internet goes through these things. I grew up watching creators like Casey Neistat, who had his wife and kids on the internet. He did it in a very tasteful way, but also it created this environment of respect. So hell, maybe it is this side of the internet and it has something to do with age, where people decide to get parasocial when certain aspects of a creator's lives are brought.
It's because of the generation that we're in, especially my generation, bro. Everybody in their mind thinks everybody is promiscuous. That's why everybody in our relationship doesn't trust women. Women don't trust guys, so they're projecting all of their problems onto somebody's relationship. That's why we have a bunch of incels and a bunch of weirdos that always comment and try and tear other people's relationships down. And you watching, I ain't gonna say you one of them, but you probably know one of them, if I'm being completely frank with you.
Into this world.
That's saying it's not known for thousands of niggas to formulate an opinion. Nigga, you have 20,000 people watching. I think that is normal. It's not normal for niggas to have no opinion when you publicize this to the world.
What y'all think? I mean, I get what he's saying, but this is the thing about being a streamer, bro. Y'all know all our lives, bro. So it's like niggas be thinking, okay, I can just be in a relationship, live ducked off. Nah, hell nah. Come here, buddy. You better keep that motherfucker private, or that shit's our business too, nigga. But I was parasocial as hell over Soluminati and Ash, nigga. On me. I knew every detail. When she tatted his name, I'm like, oh my God, babe. As if it was my girl.
Yo.
No, it's true.
And this isn't based off Plaqueboy Max actually knowing anything about them. Hell, he probably at the time didn't even know Soluminati's real name. It's just the content that they were making has trained him to feel like he was involved. I do think that it's interesting that every time a situation like this happens, the same narratives always hit. She used him, she grew and dipped, another clout relationship, he was just a hanger-oner, he or she cheated. The cheating one is always gonna be like the step back three in this conversation. Go-to move, somebody cheated. And this usually happens when two things happen in the relationship. One person was already bigger than the other one, and then the other one gained visibility or some sort of status while being in the relationship. Therefore, this leads to the internet filling these gaping holes in the information gap with knowledge that they think that they have on the situation. So now we've created this environment where streamers, ultimately young men, have these negative connotations about how they feel about relationships.
Imagine you in a relationship. Imagine you a girl. You dating this guy. You do content. You might even do it too. You have a clip where you just maybe shake a guy's hand or maybe give him a hug. They in the comment, oh, she a hoe. Break up with her. She's a hoe. That shit will affect you. There's no way it don't. Just say any streamer, right? They with another girl. And then niggas in the comments like, oh, man, he could do way better. Just be with her instead. That shit will affect the girl. Bro, it's just hard, bro. All these people is giving all this like, people give like mad, whatever they want to say about your relationship, bro. You feel me? Relationships are things that are supposed to be intimate and kind of secret. Like,
okay.
I mean, honestly, Ron Ben said it. Don't go public if you really want to be with someone. As soon as that motherfucker on the internet game, you allow other people to affect where your relationship goes, you know? So, I mean, it's really up to you, bro. But it's kind of hard because it's like, yo, gang, somebody come on your stream, that shit not a relationship no more. That is now business. They're on your stream, they in your content. You make money with this person. It is now business. It's not just as simple as, okay, we're enjoying ourselves. I like you for who you are. It is now business, bro. So it just get tricky.
And I know I'm usually this guy that wants to be like overprotective and overly cautious and deliver these messages. But something that Plaqueboy Max said in that comment kind of rung off to me, but not rung off in a good way, in a wow, I can't believe this is being said way. He said relationships are supposed to be intimate, fair. They're supposed to be secret, unfair. Yeah, gang, this idea of perpetuating that love is supposed to be secret is a scary concept to me. Love is supposed to be something that you are loud and proud about. To be quite honest with you, and this is just my real deal feelings and emotions, if you
I can agree, but at the same time, I understand what both sides are saying. I don't think love should be secret, but I don't think that it should be like Okay, I think that love should be private, or it can be private. I don't think it necessarily needs to be secret. If your significant other wants to be outside and this, that, and the third, you shouldn't be like, no, we gotta stay inside. We can't let anybody see us together. Like that's weird. Like if that's what you mean by secret, I understand. But you should for sure be loud and proud about your significant other in the sense of knowing or letting it be known that you are claimed. Now, therefore, the identity of them, that may be a little different. Because just because you are in a relationship or you tell somebody you're in a relationship, that don't mean you need to tell them exactly who you're in a relationship with, because you want to stay private, especially if you're a content creator, because over time is going to make parasocial weirdos who are going to make comments and are going to dig deep into your significant other's past. And shoot, it's going to have a Black-Boy Max effect. If I'm being real with you, like,
you are somebody who is in love and is happily in a relationship, you have an obligation to spew it from the mountaintops, voice that opinion in every conversation, speak about it loudly and proudly. Why? Because there is so much anti-relationship content, comments, and commentary out there that it is now permeated into how people go about dating in reality. It goes into how people see having relationships in reality. And this is actually the reason why we have a problem with streamers and relationships. Max was spot on when he said there's going to be commentary about every single action that is done on stream. But because we don't see relationships as some sort of normal thing, then that's why everybody feels the need to say something, overanalyze, overstep, do all these weird and crazy things about truly normal things that happen in a relationship. Now, I do get it. There are some inherent disadvantages about having women in your content, especially on the side of the internet, which has a lot of the young men saying, yo, I'm done with that game.
Let me just put this in the air right now. I wouldn't date nobody who do content, nothing. Like, I can't even take you shirts, like, up top.
Why?
Because, like, I still just enjoy regular women with regular jobs. I don't want nobody that's famous. I don't even care if she make more money than me. I just don't want her doing no content, nothing. I want somebody who's down to earth, who understand normal life qualities. I don't want nobody who feel like social media runs their life. If you feel like you gotta go to TikTok or go to social media to go against me every time, I'm not with that.
We've gone so far into the deep end where we have creators like David saying, if you respect your relationship, don't put it on the internet. And for a few people, you may want to live by those guidelines. If I'm an anti-relationship kind of creator, like some of the Red Pill Manosphere dudes, of course, I'd probably want to leave it off there. I have so many contradictions that might come up and bite me in the butt, kind of like when Myron and Walter got into their relationships, but that's a conversation for another day. But I think that it is insane that we are painting this entire conversation with the relationship experiences of early 20-something-year-olds just because they're on the internet. Gang, I do not expect somebody who got into a relationship at the age of 17 to last for their entire lives. I do not expect somebody who got into a relationship in their early 20s to last for their entire lives. I expect for them to go through their ups, downs, bumps, bruises, left, rights, all these different things. They come into a bunch of money and opportunity, they cheat on people. They come into the opportunity to grow apart from somebody and they take it. Not that it's like intentional, but the fact that, hey, I grew up with you and I didn't have all these horizons and now I do. But then when we get on the internet and I see little Larry from Wisconsin screaming the fact that, yo, I don't want to get into a relationship based off of the struggles that Black-Boy Max ran into, like that's where I'm just lost. So I do think that we have to get better and more positive about this conversation. If you invite people into your relationships, your arguments, your soft moments, your hard moments, it's not like they'll leave quietly when it ends. I totally get that. It's not because they're evil, but because they were taught that this is where the line is. And every single week, every single day that you uploaded, every piece of content, you continuously move the line closer and closer and closer as a creator to their relationship. But with that being said, us as a consuming audience have to understand that the stuff that these people go through is literally no different than us. Yo dude cheated on you too. Yo woman cheated on you too, gang. You just so happen to work at Walmart, or you just so happen to be unemployed like me. People have differing opinions. People aren't always together together. And these things exist in real life, but just because there's a camera in front of them does not mean that there's something to overanalyze. That was me saying that the reason why you don't see Danielle in this video is not because, you know, we're not together based off of the last video, but because of the fact that she's out of town, just doing normal people things. I think you can put your relationship online. All these inherent things that people think come with being a content creator really don't have to exist. It's just about how you cultivate your audience and your community and what type of content you provide them. If you provide them just this square, granted, your viewership may be lower than the guy that goes out there and does the sturdy dance and all that other stuff like that. But for the most part, people won't be so invasive. But as you decide to peel back another layer to get closer to your audience, just remember that things can look negatively towards you, but that's okay. You kind of wanted that.
All right, so I think in this entirety, if you're in a relationship, bro, go about it accordingly. But at the same time, if you're a content creator, like, make sure that you're like the community that you built is gonna say a lot about how your relationship is being treated. So take that into consideration. But at the end of the day, it's your boy 3 Stacks. You know, I keep it 3,000. Thank y'all for watching the video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Love y'all. God bless you. And on to the next one. Peace.
I got big packs coming on the way. I got big stacks coming out to save. I got Lil Max with me, he the wave. It's a big gap between us in the game. In the next life, I'm trying to stay paid. When I die, put my money in the